Welcome to Simple Stories, Smart Kids, where tiny tales make a big splash. Today's story is all about a little man with a big idea and an even bigger mouth. Get ready for The Brave Little Tailor, a story full of flying flies, fibbing giants, and funny surprises. Let's go! Once upon a time, in a bustling little village bursting with the smell of fresh bread and the sound of clattering pots, there lived a tailor. Now, this wasn't just any tailor. This was the tiniest, skinniest, most pebble-kneed tailor you've ever imagined. People would say, if a strong wind blows, he'll float off with the laundry. And honestly, they weren't wrong. But though our little tailor was short on muscle, he was stuffed full of something much better, cleverness. One fine morning, our tiny tailor decided it was time for a snack. He pulled out a fat slice of bread, slathered it with jam so red and sweet it made bees jealous, and sat by his workbench, ready for a break. Suddenly, bzzz, a horde of flies stormed in like they owned the place. They dived and dashed, aiming straight for that sparkling jam. The tailor waved his hands, flapped his arms. No luck. The flies were having the time of their lives. But was our tailor going to let them win? Of course not. With a twinkle in his eye, he grabbed a cloth and, splat, swung down right on those greedy flies. He peeked under the cloth and counted 1, 2, 3, 7. Ha! The tailor puffed up with pride. In bold, curly letters, he stitched himself a new sash. Across the chest, big as could be, it read, 7 at 1 blow. Now, was he talking about flies or dragons? The sash didn't say, and the tailor wasn't about to correct anyone. Armed with his fancy new sash, the tailor marched off into the world. Chest stuck out so far, he looked more like a parade balloon than a person. Villagers stopped and stared, whispering behind their hands. 7 at 1 blow! Did you hear? He must be stronger than a pack of wild boars. The tailor just smiled and let them imagine whatever they wanted. Not long after, he stumbled into a shady forest and plopped down for a rest. With a sigh, he closed his eyes. Crack! Thud! The whole ground shook. Towering above him were 2 giants, big as mountains, with noses like eggplants and feet the size of wagons. They spotted the tiny tailor's sash. One giant scratched his beard. 7 at 1 blow, huh? Want to show us how strong you are? The other grinned. Let's test him. The first giant squeezed a stone until water dripped out. Easy for him, but a real jaw-dropper for anyone else. Then it was the tailor's turn. Quick as a cricket, he whipped a piece of soft cheese from his pocket and squeezed. Milk oozed everywhere. There, he crowed. See what I can do? The giants gaped, eyebrows tangled together in confusion. Next, the second giant tossed a stone high in the air. When it thumped down, the ground wobbled. See if you can throw something higher, they challenged. This time, the clever tailor reached for a bird hiding in his coat. Who knows how he fit it in there? With a flick, he sent it flying, flapping into the clouds, and gone forever. My stone won't be coming down, he boasted. The giant's jaws hit the dirt. How on earth did he do that? This fun went on, but eventually the giants decided our tailor was too much for them. That night, one tried to squash him flat with a log, but the tailor, ever sneaky, wriggled out and slept in a cozy corner. Come morning, the giants tiptoed away, not wanting anything to do with someone who could clobber 7 at a time, or so they thought. From there, word of the tailor's exploits zipped through the land like lightning. Soon the royal court summoned him. The king, draped in velvet and looking a smidge worried, eyed his sash. He wasn't keen on dangerous heroes lounging around the palace. He whispered to his advisors, let's give him a test. Maybe he'll run away. First challenge, the royal orchard's wild boar. A beast so nasty it had scared off all the bravest knights, armored cats, and even the local baker's dog. Bring back the boar, the king commanded. With nothing but his wits, our hero sharpened his tiny scissors, grabbed a rope, and trotted into the orchard. The boar crashed out from the undergrowth, snorting, teeth glinting. The tailor leaped behind a tree. Whoosh! The boar slammed face first into the trunk. Dizzy and grumpy, the beast staggered, and the tailor quickly tied it up. He dragged it back to the castle, huffing and puffing, but grinning ear to ear. Next, the king sent him after two monstrous, magical creatures terrorizing the kingdom. Unruly unicorns, misbehaving ogres. Depending on who told the story, the monsters changed, but everyone agreed they were huge, hairy, and bad news for breakfast. The tailor, of course, was a problem-solving machine. Using breadcrumbs, quick feet, and a little luck, he wrangled the beasts, tricked them, and dragged them back, beaming at his cleverness. After all these heroics, the king was running out of ideas. By now, the tailor's legend had grown so large it barely fit in the royal courtyard. Knights and nobles whispered, "Don't mess with him! He took down 7 at once!" The princess herself started to think, maybe this brave little tailor isn't so bad. And just like that, the king realized he had a hero, not a problem, on his hands. He offered the tailor his daughter's hand in marriage and half the kingdom. The citizens cheered, the trumpets blared, and the castle baker made 7 cakes in his honor, 1 for each of the tailor's infamous flies. But life as a prince wasn't all sweet treats and silk cushions. Some of the royal guards, burly as bulls and not too keen on being out-heroed by a needle-waving tailor, decided they ought to get rid of him. They tiptoed to the princess, whispered their plan, and tiptoed out again. The tailor caught wind of their mischief. Did our clever friend tremble in fear? Never. That night, as he slept in his fine palace bed, guards crept into his room. With eyes barely open, the tailor began muttering in his sleep, "Bring me those giants! I toppled 7 at one blow! Bring me 2 more giants and a pack of bears while you're at it!" The guards froze. Suddenly, it seemed this prince was more dangerous than they'd imagined. They tiptoed away, faster than a hen on a hot porch. No one in the court ever dared bother the tailor again. So, did he live happily ever after? Of course! The kingdom became a lot more fun. The princess learned to embroider. Breakfast was always jam on bread, flies not included. And the brave little tailor kept his sash forever. And anytime children asked him for a bedtime story, he'd begin with his favorite line. "Did I ever tell you about the time I defeated 7 at one blow?" The children would giggle and say, "You mean the flies, right?" And the tailor would wink. "That's for me to know and for you to imagine." And just like that, the brave little tailor, armed with nothing but wit, needle, and a love for jam, proved that you don't need be big to be brave, or a knight to be a hero. Sometimes all it takes is a clever mind, a kind heart, and maybe just a little bit of luck. And flies never forget the flies. So, next time you're faced with a problem or a pack of angry insects, just remember, maybe, just maybe, you could be a hero too. And that's the tale of the brave little tailor. He might have started with a sandwich, but he ended up with a crown. If you laughed, learned, or just love stories with clever twists, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a big thumbs up, and share the fun with your friends. Join us next time for more fun tales on Simple Stories Smart Kids, where big adventures come in small, smart packages.